Everybody, JD with Icotech Game Calls. Previous tutorials that I've done in the month of January and February, I was focusing on what sounds I was running at the time frame. And that time frame, the coyotes are in the breeding phase, territorial phase. They're establishing territories, the alphas are breeding. So a lot of my calling at that time was in vocals. I'd say 99% of my calling was vocals. And if vocals weren't working during that time frame, then I would definitely be playing some prey distress and try and key in on the hunger factor. So now we are rolling into the spring time of the year. Where are the coyotes at now? The coyotes are established their territories. Females are having pups, and the subordinates are supplying the female with food, not only for her, but themselves as well. Because the female, when she has those pups, she doesn't leave the den site for several weeks. So she's dedicated to those pups and their existence and survival. So how does that affect my calling? This time of year, I'm going to go from, say, 99% vocals down to about 70% vocals and 30% prey because of that food factor. They're supplying her with food. They're, consuming food as well, obviously. But this time of year, not only do they have their young, but the prey species are having their young as well. Baby birds, baby cottontails, fawns will be coming in May and June here in the area I'm in. So I'm going to focus, 30% of my sounds I'm going to be using are going to be prey distresses. And how I'm going to run them during a stand is going to be basically trial and error. I'm going to set up and I do a 3-stand circulation. So what I mean by that is my first 3 stands, I'll set up and play a prey distress right off the bat, whether it be, rodent, bird, rabbit, or fawn. And I'll play it for about 5 minutes. If I get, responding coyotes coming in and I'm putting coyotes in the truck, I'm going to continue with that. If I'm not getting anything biting on that, starting off with prey, then I'm going to switch up and start with the vocal, maybe a lone howl, followed up with a second lone howl, and then roll into my prey distresses. And then if nothing bites on any of that, then I'm going to roll into more vocals and a fight at the end and pup distress. If I'm not getting any bites on any of that, then, I'm continually fishing for those sounds that are getting them to respond, and I've seen where some nights starting off straight prey isn't as effective as starting off with a single lone howl, then going to a prey. So, it's just a matter of finding that recipe that's working that time while you're out calling. But again, springtime, when they're still highly territorial, but yet food consumption is a high priority for them as well, I'm going to switch up and go about 70-30 on my calling sounds that I'm using. 70% vocals, 30% prey. And then that's going to change as we roll into summer, actually late spring into early summer. So stay tuned for those tutorials. But hopefully this information I've provided helps you with your calling, helps you with the depredation that you're doing. And thanks for watching.